Hello there. My name is Brandon, and welcome to a new series that you'll start to see here on the channel, where filmmakers, photographers, artists, or any other creatives come together to discuss experiences in hopes to inspire, share advice, or lessons learned to apply or avoid. There isn't a name to the show yet, but for the first episode, today we will be speaking on our experiences in transitioning from professional photography over to video. Of course, I'd like for us to introduce ourselves, and it just so happens that today I am joined by
Jacoby.
And so, Jacoby, could you tell us your title, what you do, and your current aspirations?
My current title I would say is I'm just an all-around creative. So I do photo, I do videography, I DP on set sometimes. I'm just like an all-around jack of all trades. And my aspirations, honestly, I want to get more into the travel space. So I want to do like Airbnb, hotels. I want to get paid to go to Japan and film some stuff. Like that's the current aspirations. So yeah, that's what I'm really shooting for.
Sweet. And then just to introduce myself, I'm Brandon. Title, I guess you would say, I'm aspiring to be a DP, but a lot of the stuff I do is cam mopping, PA, so basically a videographer.
Mm-hmm.
And my current aspirations is to do documentary filmmaking, travel documentaries, documentaries here at home. Any stories that need to be told is something that I want to share with the world.
Sick.
Sweet. So with those brief introductions, we're going to now move to topic number one. And this first topic is finding out our first time making money with a camera. So the first question is to you, Jacoby. What was your first time making money with a camera?
So I started all the way back in like 2019, and I got a camera from a friend. Shot around my brother, my mom, the usual. The first time I got paid was for a 2-year-old's photo shoot. I charged them $60. $60. I sent them probably 150 photos around that. And yeah, I was like, I'm rich. I'm like, this is the life. Somebody paid me to take photos with my Canon 5D, the original, and I was like, yeah, my life is made. Ever since then, I've been hooked.
Nice. And what did it look like working as a photographer as you got more shoots and going into the industry?
Yeah, of course. So surprisingly, 2020 was my most successful year when the world shut down. I was wearing a mask, going to people's homes, doing smaller, more tight-knit weddings. And it wasn't until 2020 when I did that and I was working with a professional wedding photography couple that I realized like people make a living with photography, and not just like $40,000, $60,000 years. Like the people I work with were having $1 million years. Like they were nice home, all the camera gear. Like they were amazing people, and they made really good money and charged a lot. People paid for it. And so 2020 was the year that I really was like, oh, like I can do this. Like it's definitely, like it's possible. And yeah, that year I got to go to New York, I got to go to Florida, I got to go to North Carolina with them shooting destination weddings. And that like sparked my love for travel, as well as just like the idea of like anybody can do it, because they did it and they were telling me I could do it. So yeah.
Nice. And did you find that doing photography for work versus your personal photography, did those styles like differ or?
Yes, very much so. Because when I first started, it was all about like, how can I make this image still look like an image, of course, but like how far can I push these yellows? How far can I push these blues? How far can I like highlight the sky before it breaks? A lot of experimenting, a lot of creativity. When it got to doing like professional stuff like weddings and like events and portraits, like for like headshots and things like that, it was definitely way more professional. Like find the white balance, nobody's yellow, we're not changing the color of the sky. Very, very clean, very professional look. So there was a very stark difference between the two. But I like them both in their own regard.
Yeah, awesome. Just like Jacoby, I started the similar fashion. My first shoot was with a mom at my work, and she needed photos for her kids, her photographer that she regularly books. wasn't available, and it just so happened that I have a camera. And granted, I really wasn't trained for photos. I was like, oh well, I have the tool, so like, why not give it a shot?
Right.
And I did that for, well, I told her I'd do it for free, but she ended up liking the pictures. I think I got $100, so that was like,
Oh yeah.
you know. But
yeah.
I was just grateful for anything, to be honest. And after that, I would just charge anything with either $150. Like, I'll just take whatever I could at that time, right? Because it's like, oh my goodness, like I could make money with a camera, and that right there just kind of gave me more confidence to go out there and look for clients and try to take more pictures. I got into the wedding photography space as you did, and with the work and personal, I felt like whenever I was doing the photography for work, I couldn't be as creative, just because, you know, you need to keep things in a way that allows people to kind of be like, okay, well, we can hire these people again.
Yeah.
It just needs to look clean, and
For sure.
you can't be too artsy fartsy. You just need to get the stuff done. My first photography job, though, was it was for a mall, actually. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, because I shortly got into wedding photography after that, and the settings we used like an on-camera flash. We just used auto, and the pictures were the same every time. It wasn't great. I did not like it. But weddings I had a little more fun with, so at least in that sense, I was able to stretch the creativity more with weddings than the mall job.
Right.
Yeah. Since the both of us have done weddings, for how many years have you done weddings?
4 years, 3 years now, 4 years now.
Yeah, so for me, a shorter, like 2.5 years. I wanted to ask you, what did you like and what did you dislike about doing weddings, specifically in photography?
Yes. So when I was just doing photography for weddings, the first couple, of course, you're like, oh, this is brand new. You're nervous. Like, what if I miss the shot? What if I don't get the shot? What if, you know, a lot of nerves. And it was a new experience. So I wouldn't say it was bad or good at the beginning. It was just more like, let me not mess this up. But as I did more and more weddings, and you realize it's the same thing over and over and over and over again, my least favorite part of weddings is just the repetition. But my favorite part is the people. I've never had a bad wedding. The people are always great, always welcoming. And then, of course, me, I am a go-getter photographer. So, like, if people aren't dancing, I need someone to dance. I'm grabbing grandma's hand. Let's go, grandma. Get on the floor. Dance with me. I'm going to the bride and groom. Like, what is y'all favorite song? Going to the DJ. I need you to play this song right now. Getting everybody going. I love that feeling. And yeah, I mean, the people are the best thing about photography in general, especially wedding photography. And I guess my least favorite part is the repetition, and like you can't get too creative. You know what I mean? Like, people like the nice, clean look. It's their wedding day. They want to look back on it for years to come. And I respect it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and, you know, change the color of her dress because it looks cooler. Like, no, I'm gonna leave it how it is. But it does kind of suck, because sometimes you kind of like, this picture would look so much good with some grain and like little less contrast, make it look like vintage. But you know, you're stuck with a very nice, clean 4K kind of look. So
yeah, I feel like for those for weddings, I feel like if it's my own client and I'm not working under someone else, I feel like I can have a little more fun after the edits. Their main edits are done. And with, like you said, with the grain and everything, that's when I can kind of just see and test it out and see if they like it or not. And that will kind of help me decide whether I'm going too far, or is it a good thing that I can like maybe offer down the line and be like, hey, you know, we have a retro package or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely get you on that. And so, do you still do weddings? You still offer them?
I do.
Okay.
I have 3 weddings booked this year already.
Okay.
But funny enough, they're all for video.
All for video.
I'm not doing photos for a single one, and they're all 3 are for video.
Nice. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But do you have any advice for those wanting to get in the industry, like things that they can do to help them, or things that they should watch out for that could be red flags?
Yes. Okay. So Hey, buckle up, y'all. All right, because I've been there. I've done all the mistakes you guys probably have done or will do. The first thing I will say is, and people say this all the time, but you have to shoot a wedding, your first wedding, for free. And I say this because nobody, especially for weddings, no one's gonna book you if you don't have anything to show. Oh yeah, I'm a photographer. Oh, can I see some of your work? I don't have any work to show. I wouldn't book you, and I'm a photographer, and I love to give people like first chances and stuff like that. But it's a wedding day. It's the bride and groom's most important day of their lives. You know what I mean? So do a wedding or two for free for a friend. You know, go shadow another photographer. Another point on that in a second. Go shadow another photographer and just be like, hey, can I shoot, like, help you shoot this wedding? You know, completely free. You don't got to pay me. You know, let me just take some pictures, edit, and see what you think or see what they think. Number one. Two, please, 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 for the love of God, do not be afraid to reach out to people. I met Brandon like 4 days ago, y'all.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid to reach out to people and ask for advice. Just be like, hey, excuse me, I think your work is awesome. I'd love to just come sit down and have a talk with you. Or I'd love to grab some coffee and talk about how you got into the industry, how you did this, how you did that. Please reach out and talk to people. And that'll help you get into the wedding industry, help you get into any industry. A couple red flags to look out for is when you do start charging for weddings, or even before you start charging, make sure you have a contract and they know what they're getting into and what you're getting into. For example, one of my first weddings, I went, shot the wedding, did a great job. The bride loved the photos, the groom loved the photos. They tipped me an extra, I think they tipped me like $700 extra. Sounds great, right? Sent that, did the wedding album. 2 weeks later, they were like, we don't like the photos anymore. We want a refund. Why? I had no contract, no nothing. They were threatening to take me to small claims court. So we came to an agreement, ended up sending them back just the tip they gave me, only for a couple months later for the groom to message me and be like, we were just short on money. We just spent too much money, needed to get money back from somewhere. We love your photos, XYZ. But I didn't have a contract, nothing I could do about it. So please have a contract. Make sure you label like who has the rights to the photos. Where are these photos going to be posted? Like, can you personally post the photos on your page, or do they not want that? Just make sure you're very open and transparent, and just make sure they know, like, hey, this deposit's non-refundable. This final balance, non-refundable. Things like that. Yeah, that's really it. Last tip, and then I'll let Brandon go. Last tip, just be confident in yourself. Like, people can like see when you go to a wedding and you're just like, can you move to the, like, no, you're the photographer. Yo, grandma, scooch to, don't be rude. I'd be like, what's up, guys? What's up? Like, talk to them. Hey, y'all, move to the left real quick. We're going to get a group photo. Oh, snap a silly one. Oh, you look good, girl. Oh, you look that. Come out of your shell and just talk to people and treat them, like they're humans, and don't just be like, oh, like, maybe if you want to, like, move to the right so I can actually see your face and you look good in these photos. I mean, if you want, like, no. Tell them. I be telling people, ew, that's ugly, move, grandma, because I'm me. I'm going to be me regardless. I'm like, hey, grandma, okay, go ahead, stank your leg to the left. Go ahead, yeah, go that way. Okay, cool, perfect, boom, boom, boom. Looks great, y'all, love it. Next. So those are my tips and red flags. I'd like to hear your tips and red flags as well.
So the way that I got into wedding photography was, of course, shadow people. I think that's a good thing. Offer to work for free just so you can learn, but I think something that goes along with working for free is there's a limit. There's definitely a limit, because
for sure.
There are people out there that will take advantage of you, and unfortunately, I've been on the taking advantage boat too many times when it comes to the wedding space, just because it just so happened that at that time, it was my first, like, actually consistent getting paid for photography. But when you're shadowing and you're offering to work for free, there's just little things that the person you're shadowing might offer, like, some advice to you as you show, like, your work. And then the for free part, you get to be in that environment. You get to see the pace. You get to interact with the couple, the people that they have. It's a lot of the same things, but when I say there's a limit to it, I feel like once you just know, like, you have a gist of, like, what the day will look like, stop doing for free or really low work because I kept telling myself, like, it was like a little lie, I think, where I'm like, oh, you know, it'll get better. But, you know, that person that's hiring you to do these things, they're just gonna be like, oh, well, I can just keep getting this guy because he thinks like, oh, something's gonna be different, it's gonna get better. But really, when you do that, they're just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be paying less every time, I'm gonna make more, you know? So I think that's something to watch out for. And, you know, I'm not trying to rat anybody out, but major red flag. I talked about this with him before, but, you know, I want to share this with y'all. I worked for a company for some time, and they gave me their light to use. And this company has money. Okay, they have money. They give their shooters all the equipment. And grand exit, had the light outside, you know, it's dark, you need to light everybody up. And I had that sitting there. It was on a flimsy stand that they provided me, by the way. And the wind blew it over, knocked it down, broke. And I told them about it. And they said that it was gonna come out of my paycheck. And at first I was like, oh, well, I guess it's logical because it was my responsibility, right? It's my responsibility. And I started talking to people. They're like, well, you know, they should have insurance for that. And I'm just like, okay, ring up the boss. You know, is there insurance for this? No, we don't have insurance. I'm like, and I just took it for what it was because I don't know what I'm doing. That wasn't the only thing. So my first paycheck, it was taken out the amount what that light was, and then it was taken out another extra because I don't know, it costed more, which doesn't make sense now that I think about it. And my realizing moment is when I stopped working for a company and I did my own wedding. They ask for a certificate of insurance, like your proof of insurance, right? And when I was looking into the insurance, they have insurance for your equipment. So I'm like, there is no way as a individual contractor and then this company cannot have insurance for their equipment. Like, that's just foolish to not have. I don't know. That right there to me was like a waking up moment. So if you guys ever come across that, you're working under someone and they say you're fully responsible, like, they have insurance for their equipment.
He was getting scammed, y'all.
Yeah, I was getting scammed hard. And you know what? They might be watching this video, but that's fine. Yeah. And then another thing, as Jacoby mentioned, is contracts. I think that is a very important thing because I'm still trying to get better with this myself, just because I feel like there's times where you feel like, you know, you don't want to make it seem like it's like, oh, this guy thinks I'm being malicious, which I'm trying not to think like that, because there's just been times where I've been screwed over, whether that's for editing, for weddings, after the fact. Like, you want to trust people, but there's just times where, I don't know, people are just sucky.
Yeah.
And the other guy might be watching this video too. I just met him, and I was telling him that I was trying to, you know, branch out of a wedding company and, you know, just shoot on my own. And he was like, okay, yeah, you can help me with a wedding. I'll pay you. I went. I shot on his cards, which already, I had my own cards. I should have just shot on my own cards. Like, oh, I know my cards. Let me keep it in there, right? So at the end of the night, he took his cards, and that's the end of the story. I was ghosted. Didn't get, and the worst part is I took the toll roads to get there faster, and he was like, oh, you didn't have to be here like at this time. And he wasn't even there. Like, I had to wait like maybe 30, 45 minutes till I saw him. So there's, yeah. So there's just things like that where you guys just have to look out for, and contracts are there to protect not only you, but them too, right? But I don't know, there's just too many variables to think about where you just don't want to get screwed over because you're trying to be good. And
Yeah.
I don't know,
For
man.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
that's my advice. Moving on to the next topic,
Right.
which was kind of one of the main things that kind of connected us, is moving over to video. That is the next topic. We both were photographers at the start. What gave you an interest in filmmaking?
So, when I first picked up a camera, my initial thought was, I'm gonna make some movies. Like, that's what I thought. Making a movie is a lot harder than I thought it was. So I picked up a camera and I was recording little stuff. It just didn't look good. Like, it didn't look like what I saw on TV. And so I transitioned to photo. A couple years passed and social media started to ramp up crazy. And I was like, I can make some quality, like, good content. And that's when I started to look up, like, really cool YouTubers like Valandis, Peter McKinnon, Andy Toe. There's really so many, Hinbu, there's so many. And I started seeing, like, the amazing videos that they made. And I was like, man, I would love to do that. Started like looking it up, researching, looking at lights, looking at diffusers, looking at fog machines, all this stuff. And slowly but surely, I started, like, filming here and there. And then what really got me into it was I had a TikTok go, like, viral when I was like, the difference between shooting on my iPhone 12 and my Sony A7 III. And I was like, And then I was like, trying to make the quality better and better and better and better, to the point where, like, I started a wedding and they were like, oh, do you do video as well? And I was like, yeah, I do video as well. Oh, how much do you charge for your video package? And I was like, I could charge a lot more for a video package, right? And they're like, yeah, our last videographer charged us like $4,000, and then the photographer charged. I said, yeah. And so then I started adding it to my video package. Side note, never in your life say you can do photo and video by yourself at one wedding. I've done it twice because I was trying to get some money in my pocket. Stressed out. Don't do it. You, I'm looking at you. You think you can do it. You cannot do it. Unless the wedding has 20 people, then maybe. But if it's like over 100 people, you cannot do photo and video by yourself.
Yes,
back to my tangent.
I can agree, yes.
Back to my tangent. Yes, so I just, really it was, I started with video, didn't turn out how I liked it, revisited it a couple years later, and I think now most of my jobs pertain to video over photo at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Did you think, well, not think because I know that it did, but how did photography help over to video, like in your video skills?
It helped so much. Just being I wouldn't say really good, but knowing your camera, right? To be like a good on-the-fly manual shooter in photography, you have to know your camera really well. So when I switched to video, it's like, cool, I just learned a couple of rules and then it was boom. And like one thing I always tell myself now is like, if I wouldn't take a picture of this, why am I taking a video of this? So with pictures, a lot of people think like, okay, let me move this around, let me get this perfect shot and take the photo. When you do video, people just record and swing the camera around. But if you really think, would I take a single photo of this? No, then why am I taking a video? So like even before we set this up, when I was setting up this camera angle with Brandon, I was like, this looks good. With no subject, this still looks cool. Mm-hmm. If you add me, it looks cooler because you know.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think the biggest thing that with filmmaking and then videography, right? Because when I moved over to videography, it was just point record. To be honest with you, that's just what it was. And with photography, it kind of it made you think, yes, let me think about composition, not just point and record, because you still want to make this image look good. Like people are going to look at it, but it's for longer, right? So I can agree with you on that. So now we're on to the final topic. This is life after weddings. Even though,
we're still
we're still kind of doing them. I mean, I don't have any booked for this year, but I still did one this year. So it's just less. Like to give y'all an idea.
We're gonna get him some weddings. I'm gonna bring him along with me.
Yeah.
Get him paid.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm ready. Honestly, when I worked with a company, I was shooting literally every week. It was good experience, but they do not treat.
They was paying my man nickels and dimes.
Yeah.
He can say what he want. I'm gonna say it so he didn't say it. They was paying him nickels and dimes. He was putting in work. They did him dirty. Forget those guys. Wish them the best, just not with me and us.
For sure. So now, outside of weddings, because that's not our main line of work anymore, what are you doing now?
So I love to keep it real 24/7. So I have aspirations to, like I said, start traveling more and doing more of what I want. I have helped other people like boost their TikToks and Instagrams, get followers and things like that. I'm sick of that line of work. I was a gymnastics coach. Don't want to do that anymore. I was a teacher for a year. Don't want to do that anymore. I just want to do things that I enjoy. And so I realized that to do the things I enjoy, I need money. So I recently have taken a step back, and I'll be starting a new job on Monday, actually. So later, next week. And just so I can afford to just travel more and make the content I want to create. And that content just looks like I've never been out of the country. I'm 23 and I've never left the US, and I'm sick of it. I want to go see some new stuff. I want to go to Spain, Italy, I want to go to Turkey, I want to go to Korea, Japan, all these places. And I just want to take really this year, of course, still shoot. I'm still going to be focusing on a lot of my portraiture, a lot of like cool cinematic reels, like going to the lake and stuff like that. Love that. But I really want to focus on really just going out, seeing new parts of the world, and making like really nice travel films. So that's what life looks like for me in 2024. And we'll see end of the year. Maybe we come back and do another one of these end of the year and see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
Things don't always go as planned, but that's the plan for now.
True. I'm kind of in that same boat right now too, just to keep it real. I've been doing a lot of like event type of stuff. It's not very often. I find myself more like helping out on production now. You know, of course, when I can, I want to be a DP, but that's not always the case. And I just started going back to school, even though I might have said on this channel earlier before that I will never do school again, but that is a fat lie. About that is just because recently here in the state of Texas, there's been a lot more, the film scene has just been growing way more.
It has.
And what's crazy is that like I never would have thought my local community college would have things that are affordable to me, and it's just very fast paced. I want things to be fast paced because I'm not trying to sit somewhere for 4 years.
No, for sure.
And yeah, so they got this fast track program right now to learn some G&E stuff. So I'm trying to get into G&E, and honestly, we worked on a production together. We're on an NDA, so we can't give out too much, but that's how we met. And I got to kind of see how G&E worked. I thought that was pretty cool, even though I didn't know any of the names of anything.
Right.
We were just grabbing things. We were grabbing the sandbags, the stands, all that, and seeing that was pretty cool. But that is what's going on. So I'm hoping this year I can get more like content out. This is a start to that, and just being on set more often. And eventually be a DP.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Now we're rooting for it. He will be a DP. It's gonna happen. Maybe not tomorrow, but soon.
Not tomorrow. We will. Well, we kind of already discussed it, but I guess we can kind of discuss it again. We got to keep it NDA friendly, of course. How we met, and like how we kind of came to this shoot we have today.
Yeah. So it was literally, I kid you not, like a week ago, right? A week and a half.
Yeah.
We were on set for production. It was super sick. And I think I literally just said, "What's up?" Like, you said what's up to me.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were like eating
Sabadi. We were eating some
Yeah,
Laos.
we were eating
food.
some food. Yeah, we were eating some food because I didn't get a chat with him that day because I was doing runs. I was doing runs. That was something special, but you know. Anyway, we were eating, and then I was like, "What's up? What's up?" And we were in the area where we were kind of packing up for grip, and I was just like, I think you mentioned you're like, I don't know what these are, and I'm like, oh, I'm on the same boat. I have no idea what this equipment is either.
Yeah.
I'm just grabbing it. I don't know what we're doing. We're just gonna move it away, and then so that kind of turned into like figuring out or finding out rather that our backgrounds are similar. Like we came from the photography world and moved over onto video, and you know we just kind of do similar things. If y'all didn't know, Jacoby didn't mention he also makes content. So
I do make content.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It's gonna be at Jacoby on everything. Literally, my full name, Jacoby Pearson, no alias, JAKOBEPIERSON.
Yeah, and the goal of us coming together here today is not only like share our experiences. There's some of you that might be out there that might not even stepped on set before, might not even held a camera for your life, and so I thought it'd be helpful that like we can kind of share where we're at, and not only that, make more content, because I feel like I just need to get stuff out there. And I was like, finally met another content creator in this area. I felt like that was a hard part, and I've been here for like 4 years. Like I always pitch to people like, hey, let's make some content, and then it's like, yes, that sounds dope, but this or that or whatever. And you know, everybody has busy lives, so I get it.
Not me though, y'all. He said, let's make some content. I said, bet, what you doing Thursday?
Yeah.
And then I got busy Thursday.
Yeah,
and then I said,
yeah.
let's do it Friday. Let's do it Friday. So
Yeah. So hopefully, I'm hoping we are trying to like get some ideas to just make things happen. So yeah, that was today's first episode of, there's no name to it yet, but I'm hoping to call it maybe the Striving Artist or Striving Creative, something like that. If you guys like the name, let me know down in the comments.
If you see it on my page, the name of the video is gonna be Two Broke Photographers.
Yeah.
Two broke photographers chatting. I don't know. I'm kidding. No. We'll find something out. How'd you think it went? I think it really well.
Yeah, I think it went pretty good for the first episode. I'm sorry if it looked awkward with these index cards, but guys, this thing like, you know, helps me keep on track. And like I don't know. I feel like pulling out the phone just doesn't look as nice as like index cards. You know, index cards is like nice and everything.
If you guys haven't noticed, I'm literally I'm holding like grass leaves. I'm more of like go with the flow, put the camera down, it looks good. And Brandon's like, no, let's go ahead and move it to the inch to the left. You know, he's very much a perfectionist, and I love that, honestly. He brought the index cards out. Love that. He's great. If you guys would like to be a part of this and you're in the Texas area, Dallas area, please drop a comment below. We would love, he would love to have you on if we do stuff together. We would love, you could be right here in the center. You know, we could definitely do some more stuff together. But thank you for having me, dude. It was awesome.
For sure. Once again, Jacoby, drop your socials real quick.
So, I am Jacoby on everything. So,
literally everything.
On Instagram, I am _JAKOBE _ on Instagram. On YouTube, Jacoby Pearson. It'll be me in a blue shirt like this. That's really all I use. On TikTok, Jacoby as well, Jacoby Pearson. You'll see a video of me looking real handsome at the beginning. And yeah, all my socials, just type it. You can just Google me, Jacoby Pearson. Oh, I sound so gross when I said that. Oh, sorry, I sounded so conceited. But yes, you can just Google Jacoby Pearson, JAKOBEPIERSON. And the very first one will say BTY Photography. That's me. Click that. Check the page out. Book a shoot with us. Because I'm going to get him some bread. Okay? And yeah, let's do it.
Sweet. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see more of us working together. We're similar, so yeah. Good episode, right?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was
yeah,
sick.
Sweet. I dig it. All right. See you guys next time. Peace.
That was sick. I actually really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was
Holy,
good.
I really enjoyed